when the church comes around, they take away the natural world, and everything goes from being alchemy and like spagyrics and all these natural ways of healing to now working miracles. And when you start with this shit with working miracles, you get into this age of, charlatanism. And, step on up, I'm gonna save you for Jesus. In the name of Jesus, I'm gonna cast these demons away, and all this fucking freaky, weird shit. And it's like, they got away from nature. And what else did they do? They demonized villagers. So you always hear Christians throw around these words like pagan. And I find that very offensive, because if you know where pagan comes from, it comes from the Latin word pagus, which is village. And the Greek version of that would be pagus with a P-A-G-O-S, right? That means hill. So like when you look at Areospagos or Areospagos, the hill of Ares, that would be where they judged everybody in the Greek world. That was like the Supreme Court that day. Well, in Latin, that's village. So the word pagani, where pagan comes from, it's just pagan with an I at the end, means villagers. So let me ask somebody, if you're watching this as a Christian, who do you think is closer to God? A villager who's out in nature and working in God's construct, or some yuppie bathhouse, Roman Empire, trashy politician, sucking everybody's dick, gorging himself, throwing up so he can keep eating, city slickers? You think someone in a city knows more about God and nature than a villager? And they constantly do this, man. They constantly demonize the people who are actually in touch with God and in touch with nature. And that's what happens. And you see the same thing today. It's like, let them eat cake. This world's collapsing and they're all fucking partying like rock stars on our taxes. It's like, it's not even about the money. The taxes and all that stuff is just to keep us from ever being comfortable. So going back to all of this, they're archetypes of the sun. Lucifer is Mare, Mary, Marine Venus, an archetype for the water and the feminine aspect of consciousness, but ultimately also Virgo. Right. The sun in Virgo.
And
so that's it.
I mean, this is fantastic. And I don't want to jump over you, Rob. I'll let you talk here in a sec. But I just think what is so great hearing these things is just the fact that you said, it's like you hear this demoralizing of one another, of what you see in the book, of what makes these people bad, like the paganism stuff. And when based off of listening to Crow, looking into it, talking to people like Benjamin Balderson, people who are doing alchemy, it's like, these aren't bad people. These are actually the people we can learn so much from, about what you just said, nature, and knowing that there is no lie in nature, and that in the event some shit goes down, I want someone like that to be my teacher. I want to be their apprentice, or at least want to be around them, so I can have that wherewithal with eyes to see how to survive in those situations. Like you said, as things are going to crap and people are, partying and they don't have to worry about it, the majority of us need to know what we're doing. We need to know how to get food. We need to know how to get a fresh water source. Asking any single person here, this audience may be fine, do you know how to filter your water, distill your own water? You know what I mean? Like, these are little things, but like knowing that, we're getting taught that these people, because of a name and how it gets demoralized, and not knowing really what is behind these words, and knowing it is spellcraft. It is this goat spell that we are experiencing, and having this breath of fresh air of knowing, okay, wow, it doesn't take away from the fact that you still are grateful